Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, Amanda T, here on Create Your Future. I am so grateful you're here. I intend that you all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Go ahead and check out our free course on how to get past those blocks and manifest anything quickly. Also, at the time of filming this video, I am still 50% off one-on-one coaching. I apologize. I got to look this way because the natural light's just coming in hard. You guys, so this video is titled Money Isn't Real, and I'm going to start it off with a great success story. I have a new mom friend / client at my son's school, and we have just talked a few times in the halls for about 5 minutes at a time, and her life has changed so dramatically. She's so happy. She just wants to, she's watching Create Your Future. She had never heard of Create Your Future before. She's reading Goddard. She had never heard of Goddard before, and she's getting so much financial abundance really coming to her. So let's start with what she's received. So we were talking in the hall, and it was just a very kind of 3D conversation. Remember, when you're having 3D conversations, if there's talking about how expensive life has become, that hasn't been my experience. I actually feel like prices have been going down. Don't ever take on their story as your story, even just to make polite conversation. I mean, you can kind of smile and nod, but be like, oh, wow, I don't know where she shops. That place sounds expensive. I always get everything 50% off for free. That kind of deal. Keep your mental diet no matter what. So we're talking, and she starts talking about energy, though. And so I kind of think, maybe she'll be a manifestation junkie with me. And boy, is she now. So she talks about how she needs these in our state. There's these toll lanes, and she has to buy these passes, and she doesn't want to buy the passes. She doesn't want to rack up a bill on it and stuff. And it's like, it's interesting. Like, you can call places and maybe there will be a credit, or maybe you'll get a check or something like that. I can't tell you how many times like checks have shown up. And so we start kind of affirming and visualizing just a couple. I probably gave her like 3 ideas, because remember, she's never really thought about this stuff before, but she actually decides to give it a try. And so she calls the toll people and starts talking to them, and they tell her that she has a $700 credit. She's like, Amanda, I did not put $700 on there. She goes, I actually was in such financial straits. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my mortgage that month, let alone put $700 for something I didn't use at the time. And so obviously we don't push that envelope. We don't wonder where that money comes from. We just accept it as part of our abundance, say thank you, and move on about our day. So once that happened, it was like, she had the fish on the hook, and she's just reeling it in. She's like, if I want to go to sleep and I can't go to sleep, I just start affirming. I get the most peaceful night's sleep ever. I fall asleep right away. All these kind of things. She had a bill from a car accident or something like that, and the people were requesting $11,000. She talks to me. I said, well, what number do you want to pay? What do you think is an appropriate number? She says $6,700. I go, okay, so we're going to visualize that they accept it. We're going to affirm that this is the amount and that they're happy to accept it. And I said, and be ready, take action in the 3D. And that's what she did. So here's how that went down. She has a phone call with that lawyer. They're asking for the $11,000. She doesn't want to pay it. She offers $6,700. They say, we're going to think about it. Let me call you back. She has her card ready. She literally has like her credit card ready and says, just take the number, ask them, charge it. That was her putting it really out there. She's literally saying, this is the reality I am. I affirmed it. I visualized it, and you're going to take my card number. And so while they weren't on the phone, she's like, they accepted it. They charged it. It's done. Wouldn't you know it? She gets like a notification that they have charged the $6,700, and she gets a call from the lawyer, and they say, yep, they accepted it. And there you go. So she saved thousands of dollars. Now she's really humming, right? She's like, I've always wanted to franchise my business. I think I'm going to franchise my business now. She has another business thing going on, and they offered her $15,000, and she wants $80,000. And so we'll get back to that one when I hear more about that story. I'm hoping to hear about that soon. But while this is happening, she's still running her business in the 3D. She's still working at night, taking the kids to school during the day. The client's been a little bit of an issue. Once again, everyone is her pushed out, financial abundance, or, just keeping this client nice and considerate, because it was really becoming an issue. Anyways, so she affirms before she goes in, that the woman is going to apologize, that this woman understands that, you know, they're the experts and they're there to give their advice and to be a part of, you know, this situation. That's what she hired them to do. And lo and behold, she walks in the next day and the woman is apologizing. She's even brought her like some breakfast things and like coffee. I think it was like a little gift package thing to show the sincerity. And, you know, the whole relationship, the dynamic seems to be changing. And then the woman continues to fulfill the contract, which puts more money in her pocket. And so she's really excited for the future, you guys. Money is not real. It is just energy. And once you understand that, you can be truly abundant and have everything. Name your price, you know? So let's get into that a little bit more. I always talk about, if you don't want to pay full price for something, name your price. Do you get it for free? How are you going to get it for free? Maybe there's a promotion. Maybe there's an advertisement. Maybe there's a giveaway. Maybe, you know, just something goes wrong and you're given a credit. So you're able to buy that thing for free, like my client was, right? All kinds of things like that. Maybe your car breaks down. I had my late husband's sister, so my sister-in-law, you know, her car broke down and she's talking to me about how upset she is. It's going to cost so much money. Plus it has to be towed. I'm like, you know what? She's going to get towed there for free and it's going to cost less than $100. I don't say anything to her about it. I just, after we hung up, you know, it's like, just, you know, I'm going to affirm that for her. I'm going to manifest that for her. And you know what? It cost her $80. She got towed for free and it cost her $80. And she felt such relief. She was so happy. And those are the sort of things I do in my day-to-day life. And you can too. You know, if you want, okay, guys, I haven't paid bills in like 7 years. I've told you that in other videos. That's how financially abundant I am. I just make money. Other than like credit cards or what I want to spend on or what I want to save for, like I don't have to pay sewer, water, garbage, or in fact, oh my gosh, you guys, I almost forgot. Personal success story. I wanted my car paid off. And so a family member just gave me the money to pay off my car. So, because I didn't want to do it myself. So it was just under $10,000. So I just received a check for that amount. Well, actually, they just went to the car company and paid it off and stuff like that. So my car is now paid off. I don't pay bills. I don't like them. They get in my way. So think about it like that. How high is your interest rate on your credit cards? Maybe there's, you know, some sort of a blip, a glitch, the interest rate, not the interest rate. So you just lower the interest rate to the interest rate you want. Maybe you get a promotional offer, 0% for the next 6 months to a year. Well, even if you already have the credit card, they've decided to do something like that. Why not? But let's say, you know, you just wanted $10,000 off your credit card. Well, I receive an extra $10,000. Or, you know, they realized there was, you know, credit card. One of the credit cards I actually had, I think I still have it. They're in a lawsuit right now, and people that have had those credit cards from this time to this time will be receiving a check in the mail for, you know, whatever the amount was in the lawsuit and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I know what I'm getting for Christmas. I'm getting me a check. So you can do things like that. And that was just something I read about in the 3D. And I thought, well, I'll apply that to my life, right? There's people that have very low interest on credit cards. Housing rates on their cars. There's deals, you know, buy one, get one free, buy two, get one free. If you want to buy a car, you get a low interest rate, you get a holiday deal, you get some sort of promotion. You know, the guys, they're trying to get the car off the lot, so they make it way cheaper. You know, I drive like a pretty nice car and I got like a thing in the mail and it was like, well, the average person, plus I do a lot of research because I think it's fun because I'm kind of nerdy, but the average person pays for that car like $1,500 a month. And I was paying $500 a month. I didn't want to pay $1,500 a month. And, you know, so when I go to buy things, I had to buy my dog a new harness, for example. It was only like $30. I don't want to pay $30. I want to pay $15. Next day it's $15. That's what I've decided I'm going to pay for it. Money is not real. It is a decision that you make every single day. If you want a raise, if you want a bonus, if you want a promotion, You know, there's so many different ways to get what you want because it's not real. Just like this 3D reality is not real. It's as real as you make it. That's why making sure your mental diet is in check. Like I said at the beginning of the video, don't take on other people's stories of financial hardship. Don't take on other people's stories of, you know, lost love or, you know, lack of love in a relationship, or men are always like this, or people are always like that. That's not true. It's not true. It hasn't been my experience. You know, put your ego, put pride aside, put what you know down. What you know is that they're selling something at a store or online that you want. And what you know is that you're going to pay the price you want for it. That's all you need. I'm going to go to the store and it's going to be 50% off. I'm going to go there and I'm going to get that shirt for $20 because shirts should only cost about $20. So I intend that this video helps. I intend that this video inspires you to reach financial abundance in every single part of your life, every single aspect. Pay the lower price, you know, lower the fees and get things for free. Have it show up in the account. Get a check mailed to your door. I love you guys so much. Bye.